Do you know who this is?
Hi.
Light girl or a no-sleep kind of girl, or of course the type of girl who loves it differently.
Yours.
But who knows, just watch. Now before we dive in, and you are so into this now, you need to understand that we review the movie, not storytelling it, and this is way different than what you usually watch, as we give you guys the opinion if you would want to watch this on your own or enjoy it with your loved ones. Just hear what we have to say, and later on if there is a clip you like or whatever it is, then by that time, you should stream it or watch it. Well, who knows what's up with you. In the show Lost Girls and Love Hotels, Alexandra Daddario's character is living with a fatalistic attitude, drinking a lot and participating in meaningless pleasure-seeking activities. She believes she cannot love anyone, so she will have to live with loneliness. "I believe I'm meant to lose my mind," she quietly says to a friend during a moment of clarity. "I believe it's happening at this moment." When you have a random hookup, it gives you hope but also the certainty of more emotional pain. Should you watch Lost Girls and Love Hotels or not? In simple words, Margaret, played by Alexandra Daddario, is feeling lost and uncertain about her direction in life. She lives by herself in Kyoto, Japan. Her job is teaching English at a school for young women who want to become flight attendants, but this isn't English that someone has learned as their second language. Telling her drinking buddies and friends from another country, Ines and Liam, at their favorite dive bar, she explains that she basically speaks English for the students. And it's not even really a job, because all Margaret wants to do is get really drunk, smoke a lot of cigarettes, and have meaningless one-night stands with strangers at love hotels. Margaret enjoys being restrained. It's the only way she can experience any sensations. Margaret arrived at work late, feeling exhausted and possibly still intoxicated, after another night of drinking and randomly ending up at a love hotel. The school teacher Nakamura, Misuzu Kano, punishes her, but also feels sorry for her difficult situation, being a single woman struggling through life. Margaret says she will improve, but she starts doing it again the very next night. She has a chance to change things, and she unexpectedly meets a good-looking and dark-skinned man named Kazu. They also go to a special hotel for couples in love, and they bring handcuffs with them. However, something new and unusual happens this time. Kazu asks, "How can you be sure that I'm not a bad person?" as he holds her wrists above her head. "I don't felt in a very long time." Kazu is part of a gang called Yakuza, and he has been forced to marry someone chosen by his gang. His dad is in charge of the family business. Margaret keeps seeing Kazu even after finding out about everything, and even misses work to go with him to a Buddhist temple near Mount Fuji. However, when Kazu suddenly stops talking to her, Margaret loses her remaining connections to a good life. She gets fired from her job and kicked out of her home quickly, and then her life takes a turn for the worse. She starts drinking heavily, having secret sexual encounters, and wandering aimlessly on the streets. Can Kazu protect her before she gets seriously injured? Can anyone? This story is about young girls who are lost and how they find comfort in hotels. Picture, Everett Collection. What other movies will you think of when you watch Lost Girls and Love Hotels? It has some similarities to Lost in Translation, but both movies have different endings. In simpler words, this text talks about how this film explores the passionate side of love and also questions why and how humans can love each other. The similarities between this film and Mike Nichols' Closer are also mentioned. Great acting to see. After reaching the lowest point in her life, Alexandra Daddario portrays Margaret as someone who looks dazed and unfocused, with pale skin and shapeless clothes. Daddario helps us understand a time in the past when Margaret may have been less negative, and this promise is still there even though she seems tired and lost as she walks through the empty city at night. Unforgettable conversation, Margaret says to Kazu in a busy izakaya in Japan, surrounded by a rowdy group of drunken salarymen, "I came here to be by myself." Sometimes being alone doesn't mean not being around people. However, when Margaret comes back from the restroom at the izakaya, it's quiet and the salarymen have left. Kazu, who is quiet and keeps to herself, gives a small smile. Sometimes being alone means being with other people. The audience saw Kazu leaning on the men's table, and it seemed like he was showing them his Yakuza tattoo or tattoos. So, are you guys still here? I just want to know if you guys are still watching this. If yes, kindly take the time to like, comment and subscribe so we can know if you guys really liked the video and we know if we're gonna continue making this kind of videos for everyone to enjoy, if anyone is enjoying it. We're back to the movie. Sex and Skin. Margaret has casual sexual encounters with many men, but her intimate moments with Kazu at the love hotels are filled with sensuality and strong desire. Our thoughts. Lost Girls and Love Hotels is a reflection on feeling alone and the many different ways it can happen. Margaret didn't go to Japan to discover who she is, but rather to escape from her identity, and become unknown in every aspect of her life, including her job, clothing, and physical desires. The people she drinks with who are from other countries and speak English have come together because they are foreigners. They isolate themselves and rely on alcohol to feel better. This means that when one of them introduces a girlfriend into the group, it negatively affects the dynamic of their close-knit group. They were drinking alone, even though they were with friends. And Kazu, who is supposed to get married not because he loves someone but because he wants to be loyal to his Yakuza bosses, is kept away from others and has to follow the rules and routines of his gangster group. He is happy when he is with Margaret, but they don't have a lot of time together and they both feel lonely sometimes. Even Margaret's boss is also lonely. She is an unmarried woman in her late 30s. People in society don't like it when women prioritize their career instead of getting married. Lastly, there's the city of Kyoto itself. It's not like the bustling and energetic modern Tokyo. Instead, it's a dull mix of subway tracks, small streets, anonymous modern buildings, and hidden bars and restaurants tucked away in corners. If Margaret wanted to be by herself in Japan, she chose the perfect town. Our suggestion is to watch it online. Lost Girls and Love Hotels is a thoughtful movie that explores the feelings of being alone, taking risks, and the different ways we try to avoid loneliness. It stars Alexandra Daddario and Takahiro Hira, who give powerful performances. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Have a great day.